T20 test on one day. India, England, Australia. For a plucky big three-side slayer. What a player. What a player. What a player. Discussing zinger bells and white balls to hells. Baggy greens for long from New South Wales. Is the IPL heaven or hell? Will the 100 fail or do quite well? What a player! What a player! What a player!
Welcome back, everybody, to Waadaplaya this Sala Cup Kiska series. Sundays usually in India are non-vegetarian and biryani days. So today, Hyderabadi homes will be slightly disappointed because the biryani did not come out well. And KKR will be happy that they were awarded 2 points. To talk about the game today, we have Akash, Adi, who is joining in from San Francisco, and then Vishak. How are you guys? And what do you think of SRH performance and KKR performance today, guys?
Hi, Suman. So, SRH performance is a little disappointing today. Absolutely, I agree with what David Warner mentioned at the conference, that this is not a 180 pitch. They could have restricted them much lesser than that. I think they lost the game right there. And then the finishing skills of Manish Pandey, again, left much to be talked about. So I think it was a pretty disappointing match for SRH. KKR will be thrilled, to get 2 points right from the first game. They look strong, for top 4 finish this time.
Yeah. I mean, Nitish Rana played well, but I don't know if... anyway, I'll reserve my comments. So the question is, are you happy with SRH team selection? So let's start there. Any surprises?
No, I was all right. Like, it was okay. It was always going to be, I think one spot was up for challenge. That is whether you want Kane Williamson or Bairstow. They took the call with Bairstow, which was okay. And he's in red hot form, right? Like he was our man of the series in the India-England ODI series. And also in the T20s, he did really well. So it wasn't a surprising call for me. I would ideally want Kane Williamson in there, but that's not happening, right? With all of this. It's okay. Overall, to Akash's earlier point, right? I don't know whether Manish Pandey is the right fit. Maybe you play a Priyam Garg. Maybe you play like a Kedar Jadhav. Like he's in decent form as well in the recent domestic tournaments. So that's about it. And the ballers pick themselves, right? Like Jason Holder is in quarantine, so you can't play him. So you played Nabi, who did okay, right? Like he bowled well. He came back in the death over and did really well, got those 2 wickets, right? And then Natarajan, Sandeep and Bhuvneshwar pick themselves. You can't like just pick other players at the start. Yeah, but I think tactically going down that route, Sandeep Sharma did not get any swing today. Like that's how he wins matches for SRH and he gets all those wickets. So that was a challenge, right? And he was giving a lot of runs. And I saw this stat from the SRH Twitter handle yesterday. Sandeep Sharma has the highest number of wickets in power play in IPL history, like let alone like some years or anything. Like second is Zahir and third is Bhuvneshwar. So he's been that good. So that was a bit disappointing today. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar was also at the death overs. No, like I don't know, did he forget using Yorkers at home or wide Yorkers, which he's known for? He was bowling short, slower balls and like short balls. And I think he gave, 35 runs in his last 2 overs. If that was 20, I'm not asking like 10 runs in 2 overs, then the target would have been 165, 170, right? And it would have been more manageable. Yeah.
So a lot of comments and reactions coming up. So Kane Williamson, should he be default in the 11?
Kane Williamson is a good middle order bat. He gives them the stability. But I feel with Johnny Bairstow in the form he is in, he has to be in the 11. So I think if they drop Nabi, they'll be short on bowling front. So at this point of time, I think they went with the right 11 by including Nabi because it's a Chennai pitch where the pitch is expected to be slow and will aid spin. So I think it was a right call. Maybe when they move out of Chennai, maybe Kane Williamson can come in for Nabi.
Okay. So two problems I discovered in today's game, right? I think middle order needs a little bit of firepower, and then our bowling needs one more support structure for Rashid. Because Syed rightly points out, I think if he wasn't there today, we would have been looking at 250.
Yeah, like I agree to that point. But this is the challenge, right? We actually have a very strong bench. If you think of SRH over the past few years, or even going back to Deccan Chargers days, like Hyderabad franchisees, always the problem has been Indian middle order batsmen, right? They've always been struggling to find good Indian middle order talent. Now it's a different problem. You have a lot of them. You have Kedar Jadhav on the bench. You have Priyam Garg on the bench. You have Virat Singh, who's doing really well in domestic tournaments. You have all these three. Then you have Vijay Shankar. Then you have Manish Pandey. And then, yeah, so you have all these options now. But the stacking of those options is the problem. With bowling as well, I think you have Basil Thampi, you have Shahbaz Nadeem, you have Siddharth Kaul. You have a very strong bench strength again, to that same point. Uh, so it's a bit of mixing, matching this and both. If we want to get Williamson in, one way we could do that is play Kedar Jadhav, because he will give you one or two of those overs instead of another Samad, right? Samad batted really well today, but either he should be floated higher up the order, or he's coming too late today. Like, why did you send Vijay Shankar above Samad? Or why did you even send Nabi above Samad? Like, if your required rate is about 12, you want to hit fours and sixes, you should have sent Samad at number 4 or number 5. But number 6 is too low for him. So you don't need like Vijay Shankar, Samad, and others. So Kedar Jadhav maybe comes in, and then you can play another bowler, right? So you can maybe get Shahbaz Nadeem as you're playing in Chennai. He's decent. He did really well last year, I think, during power play overs and other time period. That's how you can fit Williamson in.
Warner post-match conference says too many runs conceded. I think that's an excuse. No matter it is 200, we should go after it. It was very bad bowling. And Vijay Shankar, why is he in the squad? I do not get it. What is his role and why is he in the squad? Akash?
He was.
I think Vijay Shankar isn't there because people still believe he's a 3D player, which he is definitely not. His bowling is not up to the mark. His fitness is not up to the mark. His batting, as you see, is blow hot, blow cold. In place of him, I think they should have definitely gone with Kedar Jadhav today, because he gives you that extra option to spin the ball. Abdul Samad himself is a leg spinner as well. So you've got two part-time spinners who can cover at least 2 to 3 overs out there. And then had you fitted in Kane Williamson in there somehow instead of Nabi. And I slightly disagree with Vishak's point that moving out of Chennai, Kane Williamson should be preferred. I would say this is the right time to play him, because he maneuvers the ball brilliantly in the middle overs and then takes the attack to the final overs as well. So Kane Williamson is a definite must out there. So try and squeeze in Kedar Jadhav somehow, get him to bowl a couple of overs with his low arm action, and then I think this score will work better.
Right. And Abhishek Sharma, again, spoiled for choices. I think first game we are reacting too much probably, but I think there are small tweaks which we need to do on the middle order. Not to hijack everything on Sunrisers. Nitish Rana, what do you guys think about his bowling? Sorry, who's his
Nitish Rana, actually, the way he started off, I think to talk about first, he batted really well. He initially attacked in the power play, and later when couple of wickets, when that first wicket fell, he started he took risks in the power play and then started maneuvering the ball and taking singles. And Rahul Tripathi took over. We should not forget that important innings from Rahul Tripathi. That was an unexpected innings. He just kind of took over the mantle and he just took apart the bowling. But I was pretty disappointed with the way SRH bowled, because they did not take a cue out of the first match where the back of length balls used to grip a little bit and come slow. And also the slower balls worked. They did not use this length and they were bowling fuller. That's where I think they missed a trick. They knew that after the first over, the ball was not swinging and they had to go to that plan. That's where I think KKR got that advantage and they used that to good effect and they scored pretty well.
Okay. And Saha still continues to open, right? There are a couple of comments coming in, opener struggling or Saha should be dropped. What's the
No. I think Saha, like personally, I think Saha will give you like that option. If you're actually playing Warner, Bairstow, and Williamson, you could potentially drop Saha, and Bairstow can keep, and that will give you an option to play another Indian batsman, or like someone like an Abhishek Sharma, or someone like a Virat Singh, or someone like Priyam Garg, right? So if you're playing all three top batsmen, then you replace Saha by someone like Kedar Jadhav or Abhishek Sharma, where you can get 1 or 2 overs in the bowling department and you have a batsman as well. But when you're playing just two of your overseas batsmen, you need Saha, because let's say in the opening over, someone like Bumrah or Rabada takes both of your overseas openers like Warner and Bairstow. Then it becomes very difficult to come back into the match, right? So Saha is dependent on whether if you want to play Warner, Bairstow, and Williamson. If you're taking that call of playing all three, then I'm fine like dropping Saha. Bairstow can keep, like he keeps for England. So many times, like when Butler is not there, so and he was keeping earlier. So and I think he kept when Saha was injured as well last season, right? So, yeah.
Yep. And how good a feeling it is to see likes of Raina and Harbhajan back into the mix. Any reactions there about Bhaji today?
Brilliant. I mean, Harbhajan should have actually bowled more. I was very surprised to see that he bowled just 1 over. In fact, I thought he would have completed his quota. He was quite accurate, and seeing him come back into the Kolkata Knight Riders squad is pretty exciting. And yesterday night, Raina performed so well after not playing nearly 2 years. I think these are all good signs for Indian cricket.
Yeah, and also like I think on Harbhajan, Morgan was scared to bowl him to two right-handers, right? That's why he never when Bairstow and Williamson and then Nabi and then Vijay Shankar, right? Like all of them are right-handers. So he never gave Harbhajan another over, which I think was wrong as well, because he should have gotten Warner out, right? Pat Cummins misjudged the catch. It should have been an easy catch, and then if he had gotten that Warner wicket, I'm pretty sure Morgan would have given him more overs. So it's like that small margin that, hey, catch is dropped, now 1 over, and then Saha hit 1 6, oh, 8 runs, okay, you're gone. Like now, nothing, right? Which was
I'm,
a bit disappointing.
I'm not sure with what is wrong with these captains. Why do they have a feeling that the off spinners cannot bowl well to right-handers? You see Virat Kohli underutilizing Washington Sundar, Morgan underutilizing Harbhajan Singh.
Yesterday, Raina took apart Ashwin.
Yeah. And also it's the reverse, right? Like when you have a leg
Raina took
spinner
apart
bowling.
Ashwin yesterday. So it's like a left-hander taking apart an off-spinner. So it would have been better if Harbhajan and Washington Sundar, guys like these, are given, where the strength is. They bowl well in the power plays, so they have to be given, overs in there. Very important.
Okay. And there's a comment that DK as finisher. Does he still have a chance to fit into the World Cup? Any reactions there?
Yes, DK played pretty well. He was used correctly. He was used correctly today, and I feel he is like in the last season. He was not used perfectly. He was shuttered down and up the order, and he works correctly as a finisher, because he has those innovative shots, can play those lovely cheeky shots, and also can hit those big shots, like how he hit Bhuvneshwar Kumar for a 6-over final. Like that was a cheeky shot. So, and he can play those shots, and those shots can be handy in the death overs and can get you some quick runs. So he is definitely, if he performs well, he could definitely make a comeback, but it does very difficult because we already have a kind of core setup. It would be really difficult for him because we already have a set of 20 people already kind of in the team already.
Yeah, he would need to like do really well in the IPL, because there are so many talented Indian batsmen these days, right? You can't even get into the squad. But one silver lining on this is, I think ICC announced that for the World T20, the squad will be 22 people, not 15 people. Like it can go up to 22 people. Like typically you have 23, the overall squad, which includes the support staff, coach, and all. So typically the breakdown is 15 plus 8. Now ICC has allowed 7 more. So potentially you can have at least 5 to 7 extra players. And if he keeps on doing this well, DK, during this IPL tournament, I guess he'll slot into the Indian team in the larger squad at least. And I think Virat Kohli also mentioned that there might be a couple of T20 series we will play between the IPL and the World T20. So during that time, they'll probably like test various combinations. I'm pretty sure there'll be at least 6 to 10 matches in that range, two teams. I think they were talking about Sri Lanka or South Africa or West Indies or some of these three countries. So they'll come in. It'll be a good test run before it, but I guess IPL performances will matter a lot for the Indian squad.
Yep. I think a lot of positives for KKR. Their uncapped players played well. So switching back onto Manish Pandey, did he play slow, or in absence of Kane, we need somebody like that? What is the thought?
You need somebody
I
like
think
that, but a strike rate of 128 before the last six is like unacceptable when you're chasing 190. That's the one thing I'll say. Like you can be an anchor, you can anchor at 140 strike rate, 150 strike rate, not at 125, 120, 130 strike rate. Yeah.
What about Samad, Akash? You're on mute, buddy. Yeah, now you're good.
Yeah, he is a good finisher. Probably he could have come ahead of Shankar, maybe, but I don't think it would have made much of a difference. But yeah, I think it's time they started using his leg spin as well. He's a pretty good leg spinner as well. So you can't just depend on one spinner out there. You need to have a couple of more options who can spin the ball. So Samad's bowling is a bit underutilized. So probably if they're going to use him as an all-round capacity, then I think it's a good pick.
Right. Okay. And Shubman Gill as an opener, I think he's coming along nicely. He played some beautiful shots. That straight six of Natarajan, that on drive of Bobby. I think he's settling in as an opener along with Nitish Rana, or do you think KKR missed a trick by not pushing up Rahul Tripathi?
No, he's a great talent. He should be used as the opener itself because he can play that anchor role as well, and he can also play those big shots like how he played against Natarajan today. So like you don't need two players who go bang bang because either Tripathi or if Tripathi and Rana both play at the top, it would be a situation of both players being aggressive and they could lose two quick wickets. Whereas Nitish Rana can give you that. Gill can give you that stability by anchoring the innings and keeping one end held up. So he would be very important in that case.
Okay. And there is a comment coming about Akash being clean shaven. I'll leave it at that. The second part of comment is not necessary to talk about it, but well done, Akash. Morgan captaincy, is it too early, or is that the right decision KKR halfway through last year they made of DK stepping down and Morgan coming in?
It's a good choice actually. Morgan is a good captain, as you can see how he's captain the England team. Last year they messed up a bit. Halfway through DK moving out and Morgan coming in, it was almost like it's done. Half the tournament is done. This year he's got the captaincy right from the beginning of the series. So I hope that he's going to take them at least into the top four because he's got that capacity in him to make the team play well.
Yeah. On the topic of like top, this is the first match for SRH. As an SRH supporter or a fan, I think the team is okay. Like I'm really happy with the squad and like the bench strength, right? What SRH has. I would be really surprised if they don't make it to the playoffs. Personally, from like an overall IPL standpoint, I think Mumbai Indians are the favorites. And if I have to pick someone else apart from Mumbai Indians, looking at other options within the teams, I would say SRH is the one who can give them like a tough fight. MI is like they've got all their bases covered. It would be really surprising for them to not make the playoff, and they are the favorites to win this. And SRH, I'm really think they have a much better squad than last year. Last year, they have so many injuries, right? Bhuvi was not there. Taha half the time was not there. And I think Vijay Shankar also got injured. And a couple of other players also got injured and were going shopping and out. They still made the playoffs and they'll still finish, right? This time, a lot of it will depend on Warner's form. Even in the last season, he was not his usual attacking, right? Warner was always a bit scratchy. He was playing the anchor innings. And I think only in the last couple of matches, he let loose and scored runs. Today as well, he got out. despite him getting out, SRH still managed to score 175, 180, right? Which is a good sign in the larger scheme of things. When the bowling does better, Sandeep needs to do better, Bhuvi will do better, right? And then Natarajan as well in the first 2 overs, he gave a lot more runs. Then we restrict the teams to 160, 150 to 170 is SRH kind of sweet spot to chase. Something over 170, it's always very difficult for SRH to chase. We have 14 matches and we play a lot more matches in Chennai. I think 4 more matches are in Chennai. Then we also go to other places where the ball spins more and it's not, oh, it's in Mumbai. Even 210 is not safe in Mumbai, right? So hopefully, let's see. I'm still bullish on the team. This is like minor. Ideally, we would want to have a win, but despite that, as well, I still think they should make the playoffs and have a really good chance of winning the toss.
Yep. And Nitish Rana declared man of the match, and there are a few RCB supporters and CSK supporters scouting for Kane Williamson. Forget about it, guys. It's not going to happen. Morgan post-match conference had got a fantastic head coach in McCullum. I think Brendan McCullum contributions are great too. He's great, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. He is a very good coach. He's been pretty experienced as a player as well. And if you see how his contribution has been coach in BBL as well, and he has done a great job. But last year I felt that he was a little dominating with respect to the coaching, and he was not allowing that captain to take up that giving that responsibility to the captain. So this year, if he leaves that job to the captain and he works backstage, it would be a very good job, and KKR can go all the way.
Excellent. Okay, good stuff. So, look, first game, I think teams are warming up. There's a lot to talk about. I know. I felt that SRH game to lose. I'd not be popular, but I don't think this is KKR win. This is SRH loss, unfortunately. But let's take the tournament game by game. So tomorrow is KL Rahul versus Sanju Samson. We are going to be back online, same like this time of the day post the game, to get the reactions, etc. Of course, Akash and Vishak over here have fantasy tips as well going on. So do drop in comment and post your reactions. We appreciate all the engagement coming through on these live sessions. Gives us a lot of encouragement. And Adi, thanks for joining in. And we are expecting you to join in all SRH matches, hopefully, during the course of IPL 2021.
Yep, happy to. And hopefully, like other matches are a bit better than this. Like we are in a better mode and SRH performs like they usually do. And they've been making playoffs from the last 4 seasons or 5 seasons in a row, like 2016 onwards. I hope that record stays, right? Like once you reach the playoffs, it's on the day match and all. What is in your control is playing throughout the season and reaching the playoffs. So
yeah,
let's see for the future matches.
Absolutely. Great. Vishak, Akash, Adi, thanks for joining in. Rest of the Sunday, enjoy and see you next time. Thanks very much for folks who have been engaging with us. Thank you and have a great rest of the day ahead. Bye.
Right.
Bye, guys. Thank you.